to blink. There it goes.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to Where's the Beef? I am your host today, the Cleaver Colin Andrew, and today I got a very special guest with me. You might know him from the NoDQ forums, the NoDQ YouTube page, his own YouTube page. He's a simple man. He's Mr. 205 Live. He is Mr. Noah Foster. Noah, how are we doing this evening?
Doing very well. I just got off work. It has been a tremendous start to professional wrestling this year, and I look forward to shooting the breeze with you on wrestling. And it's great to be on your channel for the first time ever.
Yes, I agree. Thank you again for joining me. I know I've done some stuff on yours, and it's been a while. I know life is crazy, so I'm glad that we can link up here in the new year and talk a little bit of wrestling. So here on my Where's the Beef series is I pick apart certain episodes of professional wrestling and talk about the yays and the nays, and mostly the nays. So today we're going to talk about Monday Night Raw again this week, because on last week, episode 1, I talked about Monday Night Raw, and we're going to touch on the same subject again. So I'm going to start off real fast with the elephant in the room, which is the Big Show situation. So we get this whole AOP Seth Rollins situation going on with Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe. And so we're going to look to see a 6-man tag tonight. And Joe's like, oh yeah, I made a call. I got a friend, yada, yada, yada. And it turns out to be the freaking Big Show. Now, Noah, do you see my issue with this?
You mean considering the fact Big Show's been the one guy in the company to coin flip, heel face turn on you more than 4,000 times in his illustrious career, and the fact we might be on the verge of a 3-on-3 tag team match similar to the likes of WrestleMania 29? Maybe.
Yes. So they lead up to this match, and Kevin's like, look, I just need to know who it is. And Joe won't tell him, but he'll show him. So they go into this locker room, which is completely dark, and he knocks on the door. So I'm thinking, hey, this could be Aleister Black. Well, about 30 minutes later, we get an Aleister Black match. So I'm like, all right, that's out. Like, why is the Big Show in this main role? This main role, because I mean, yes, he's a legend. He's been around forever. He's in great shape. Props to you, Paul White. Like, keep doing what you're doing, man. But why at this capacity? Why couldn't we put somebody else in that situation? And who would have you put in that situation instead of the Big Show, Noah?
Geez, that's the difficult thing, because you got to look at this from two perspectives. You got all these big names that you want to be pushed. So obviously, if you're the main event picture, that means you got to be a little bit relevant because you're getting TV time and story time. You can't use Drew McIntyre. He's doing his own thing, talking about how I'm going to win the Rumble. 3, 2, 1, Claymore kick. You can't use the likes of Aleister Black or Buddy Murphy because they're still in a feud that should go to the Best of 7 series. I think about KO's best friend, Sami Zayn. He is now a manager on SmackDown, and as far as we know, the two shows have separate rosters. So honestly, who else do you get? Because the only other person you could think about in this connective relationship is really Zack Ryder or Kurt Hawkins, because they've been a tap AOP. But Big Show, of all people, the last time he and Seth Rollins messed with each other, he was against the Authority and then went right back to them. I feel like right now they just put themselves in a corner and set up for a pointless 6-man picture.
Yeah, they actually did. And especially now, since next week, a Fists match has been announced between Big Show, Kevin Owens, and Samoa Joe against the Architects of Pain. I don't know what's going to happen here, but like I said in my chopping block episode earlier this week, I feel another heel turn from Big Show because he flip-flops so much that you can't take it serious. And I don't know what to expect. And honestly, I don't even know who I would have put in that role. If anything, this is what I would have done. If he wasn't involved in the Fatal 4-Way #1 contenders match for the North American Championship tonight, that would have been an awesome time to bring out Mr. Keith Lee.
Yes.
Because, I mean, You got short and stout, short and stout, short and stout. I mean, come on, he fits the team. He's over as hell right now. Throw him in with the likes of Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, and Seth Rollins right off the rip would do awesome for his career, in my opinion. But how would you have felt if it was someone from the NXT roster, or like a Velveteen Dream?
Well, we all know Velveteen Dream. He's got to be bound for the main roster because he's the most charismatic enigma right now in WWE that is actually a WWE-created product. You know that Vince loves that. But then I go with your point about Keith Lee, and there's history there because Keith Lee's the guy that eliminated Seth Rollins in the Survivor Series match. Keith Lee got, of course, the fist bump, respect shown. He got the strongest showing out of the NXT Man at Survivor Series. You would think during the next toss, which will most likely be at WrestleMania, he is bound and determined for the main roster. It would be a nice way to introduce him. But I don't know if I would introduce him to the main roster this soon. But to pick an NXT person, I think you just going off of storytelling. So again, I want compelling stories, and there's history there between Keith Lee and Seth Rollins. I think you picked the perfect person.
I mean, that's just in my opinion what I would have done. So if anyone from WWE Creative is out there searching YouTube videos to watch, gank my ideas, bro.
Yeah, they actually make sense.
Just buy me a cheeseburger. Just buy me a cheeseburger and give me a retweet on Instagram or fucking Twitter or something. I'm happy with that. Just no pickles, no tomatoes, or no mustard on that burger. But look, we are gonna touch base on the Lana, Bobby Lashley, Rusev situation again. I talked about this in episode 1 last week, and this, I mean, apparently it's doing big numbers because they keep doing it. And if you look at WWE YouTube, the numbers don't lie. And as much as I hate it, it's working, but it's not working for me. So we saw Bobby Lashley and Lana finish the wedding. But if anyone didn't notice, when AJ Styles was getting out of the ring after his match, the chaplain, I guess you can call him, or, whoever, was doing the wedding. The guy saying, I pronounce you husband and wife, whatever you want to call him, because there's 1,000 names for him. Tried to get in the ring and got fucking bum rushed by security. They didn't realize that he was part of the show, and you can see him like getting tackled and stuff. I don't know if you've seen that clip, Noah, but man, it was funny. Man, it was funny. So we see this, and Bobby Lashley, and they say I do, and they do the you now kiss your bride thing. You notice how Lana didn't fully attack Bobby's face this week, because remember last week she had like cake frosting all over her face,
right,
for the remainder of the segment. But you saw Rusev pop up on the big screen, and he's supposed to be on a beach somewhere, and that's the shittiest green screen ever. That was just a terrible segment. And so this feud is still not over, people. We're still getting Bobby Lashley versus Rusev. Noah, next week they announced another match. We've seen stipulation matches. We've seen all this stuff. When does it end? What do you see next week?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, glasses
I get it. I get it. This is what today's generation goes towards. It's why the internet is 33% dark. Last I read statistics about that. This type of stuff sells whether you're a conventional wrestling fan or not. I hate the angle, but I guess it gives Rusev and Lashley something to think. Lashley wanted to come in here back to WWE for one thing. Face Brock Lesnar. And Rusev, he hasn't been over since Rusev Day, so they brought it back in the most worst way possible, without it in English. Now you have a HLA type thing trying to go down between Liv Morgan and Lana. And apparently, each woman's going to be in their respective man's corner. What the fuck? As far as next week goes, we're just continuing this on, and this has to, I pray to God, culminate in the Royal Rumble. But here's my big fear, with the fact that we haven't covered something yet. What if these two get in the ring and somehow eliminate each other, and this goes even more? What if they don't blow this off until some sort of, I hate you, bitch, I never wanted to marry you type thing, where Rusev and Lana once again culminate their love together at WrestleMania? Fuck no, don't give me that. But as far as next week goes, I don't see this ending. I see a screwy finish, courtesy of Lana and Liv duking it out with each other.
Yeah. The way they're dragging it on, honestly, I could see this go all the way till Mania, and they have a mixed tag match at Mania, because Lana has put out on social media that she will wrestle in 2020. So, I mean, could you see it maybe happening at Fastlane, blowing it off a little bit earlier? I hope to God, yes. If it's not
best case
done,
scenario,
you know, or maybe they could just bum rush it, and we could see some shenanigans from the ladies this week, and they'll just announce it for the Royal Rumble.
But then you're just going to have them all probably participate in the Royal Rumble, pulling double duty. And Lana wrestling, she's not great.
We all know that, but you know, it's got to culminate somewhere, and just in what's being put out in front of us, the cards that are on the table in front of me. Mixed tag team match looks the most sense.
Yeah, I suppose. If they're not gonna pull off the HLA, because I'm sure that's what Vince wants to do. Because again, this is to satisfy one person. This is for an audience of one.
I wouldn't, mind seeing a little smooching or something like that between the ladies. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, look. Look, I've seen Judgment Day 2003. I collapsed like Taz when those two did that, okay? I'll be honest with you. But I don't need to see this again in 2020 with these two.
I mean, just like one time, just for like a second, I think it'd be cool. But anyways, moving on.
Yeah.
So I just don't know what they're going to do. I'm hoping that it is the end of this as fast as possible, because I know the numbers are there, but the patients are only wearing so thin.
I've gone to Raw highlights now. That's how much my patience is wearing thin. My mentality is going to blow up if I keep watching this nonsense.
Yeah, the last couple of weeks, I watch, but I'm not fully intrigued like I am when I watch NXT or NXT UK. Or honestly, SmackDown's been pretty good lately. So, NXT for life, man.
Damn right.
So
I've always been more of a fan of the Blue brand also too, and they're pulling up everything. But I digress.
Yeah, no, I agree. SmackDown has been doing some decent things. I hate the dog food angle, but it just grosses me out.
Yeah.
I don't have a beef with this, but I'm pumped as shit to see the Usos back.
Yes.
They got a new little hairdo going for them. Whatever, it works. Yeah. People got court appearances sometimes. They got to look fresh. Yeah. And if you're twins, you have to do the same thing, I guess, when you're in that aspect.
You got to do something to make a substitute from the other.
So whatever. So I'm cool. I'm happy to see like the Bloodline? Is that what they call it?
That was called during the AJ Styles Roman Reigns feud WWE Championship. It would not surprise me if that name comes back, and the fact you have the threesome right now of Dolph Ziggler, King Corbin, and who's sure to come back, the glorious Robert Roode.
Yeah. Once he stops doing whatever he's doing to fail a wellness policy. Dude, come on. You mean whatever, man? Whatever. Yeah. I get it. I guess. Been there, done that. But I don't know. Where do you see this Roman Reigns, Baron Corbin thing ending though? Because this has been going on for a while now. Obviously,
it's weird because I thought it would really end at TLC, but they basically gave King Corbin the win in the most ridiculous fashion possible, where everybody came out to help him. But you got to imagine Roman is the guy, no matter how you want to look at it, no matter what else is going on. He is the top guy in the company. So clearly, he's going to have some say and balance and play in both the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. I truly do not hope this culminates between King Corbin and Roman Reigns in some sort of lucrative, high-profile type match at WrestleMania. But it looks like it's going to that at this point, because now you got the Usos back, so now it's like family versus family. Can this freaking trio take down this tyrant, per se? Because King Corbin right now, to his credit, he's playing the role of the villain pretty damn well, to the point I hate his guts, and is doing more with the King thing than I can remember, but this has to end sooner or later, and it wouldn't surprise me if it ends with Roman dumping dog food on him.
That would be funny to see, definitely. I mean, honestly, I don't know where Roman Reigns is going to go. Is he going to be in the main event at WrestleMania? Is he going to win the Royal Rumble? Or if a Raw superstar wins the Royal Rumble, is he going to win Elimination Chamber or, whatever they do with that? Because you got to think Bray Wyatt's going to hold on to that title until WrestleMania. There's no doubt about it.
No doubt.
He's the most over thing in the company right now and the most over thing that people could even thought of years ago. So, of course, he's going to hold that title in there. And now with Brock Lesnar going in the Royal Rumble as number 1, you see him somehow winning and then challenging Bray, and then there being a title unification match at WrestleMania. Because do we need 2 world titles right now?
When you think about it, you only really have one when only one title shows up like 5 times a year. So, honestly, if it gets a title off Brock Lesnar in the long run, I would say yes, because at this point, the United States title is trying to gain some sort of relevancy to the level of the WWE title. It's not working. I looked at the bump highlights per se, and I agree with Kevin Owens. If I had a choice between the NXT title, the IC title, and the US title, I'd go for the NXT title because it's more relevant and over than both those 2 workhorse championships combined.
Even the North American Championship is more over.
Yeah. And that's NXT's mid-card title. But to answer your question, yeah, if they do some sort of title unification between Brock Lesnar and maybe The Fiend, yeah, I could definitely see that. But here's a wild thing. Could you talk about The Fiend being so original, so over, this being a Bray Wyatt idea? Does The Fiend truly need the title at this point? Have you put The Fiend in a corner? I mean, he's already so charismatically over from a story portraying standpoint to the fact that every feud he's ended, the guy on the losing end, he's changed per se into something else. Daniel Bryan's now Bryan Danielson. The Miz is back to a heel. We might be getting a unification, one of the best dirty tag teams of the past decade. I personally don't think The Fiend needs the title. The only thing that's come from it is a $6,500 knockoff. So honestly, I could see Daniel Bryan pulling a wild type scenario win over this, because I don't know how many more times The Fiend can take out Daniel Bryan before you're like, this is getting old, moving on. I think putting the title on The Fiend was a poor man's idea.
Well, to argue that, when Bray Wyatt was Bray Wyatt a couple of years ago, when he won the WWE Championship inside Elimination Chamber, I was ecstatic for him. The character has always been awesome to me. And yes, does he need the championship? Not necessarily, but he has it. So now, is he boxed into a corner? Yes, if they don't give him a lengthy title run. If he lost that sumbitch Friday, for example, his character to me would be somewhat of a joke. But if he holds that until WrestleMania or even a pay-per-view after, it's going to show his character as the strong. I mean, we all know he's a dominant character. We all know he's a strong character in either Bray Rogers or The Fiend.
Yes.
Either creepy belt or blue belt. It doesn't matter.
Right.
We all know what Bray Wyatt, what Wyndham Rotunda can do. We all know what he can do. Mm-hmm. And it's fucking amazing. But at the same time, if he loses here soon, to me, if he loses that title in a one-on-one match, anytime in the relevant future, I feel it's going to hurt his character extremely, extremely bad.
Okay, so here's the idea of the whole unification thing, and I'm taking it from another promotion. What if they still have both the WWE and the Universal Championship defended in individual matches throughout WrestleMania to culminate in a title for title match at the end? Because I just don't know. I don't know if I want to see, The Fiend and Brock continuing to rule WWE with the titles, considering one title's only be shown 5 times a year, and the other one's going to be special showcase. Eventually, both men needs to lose the belt. But if you don't do it at WrestleMania, when do you do it when you actually institute change and make me feel like the winner of the Royal Rumble matters?
Exactly. So basically, you want to do a Wrestle Kingdom 14 gold dash.
I do.
Dash for gold, basically. Okay. So basically, yeah, you could have the winner of the Royal Rumble battle Brock Lesnar, and then the winner of like Elimination Chamber battle Bray Wyatt, and then have an opening match, and then a few more matches, then another match, and then the main event would be, whoever comes out on top. I like that idea, but I don't see them doing that idea because Wrestle Kingdom just did that with New Japan this past weekend. So I don't see them ganking that idea. It'd be sweet, but I love it. Yes, great idea. I don't know, man. The only time, to me, it feels right to do a unification match, especially of the World Championships, is WrestleMania. The only other time is if Night of Champions actually meant something. But when it's Night of Champions and you don't even have all the belts defended on it, because there's too many of them, get rid of one of those world titles, make your Intercontinental and your U.S. Championship fucking relevant again, and your top guys are going to hold those two titles until they go on and challenge whoever walks out on top. So let's just, for example, Roman Reigns somehow is the world champion. I'm just going to throw it out there. I know you don't like that look, but I'm just throwing it there because that's Vince's boy.
Yeah.
You could have your AJ Styles on Raw with the U.S. Championship as your Shawn Michaels back in the day with the Intercontinental title. Then over on SmackDown with the Intercontinental title, you can have, Miz or Daniel Bryan or someone along those lines being the Bret Hart with that Intercontinental title back in the day, or the British Bulldog, or that person who didn't have to have the World Championship but could carry the mid card as a true leader and champion, like Bret, like Shawn, like Davey Boy, etc. Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, etc. All those guys back in our heyday. Make those titles what they should be. Have your world champion bounce from show to show. Look, if you're going to be world champion, all right, you're going to be working both shows. You're going to be working Mondays. You're going to be working Fridays. So you work Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So
it's not like you're doing a Raw Super Show 2.0. The only person that bridges between the two shows is your top guy. So that makes your whole roster want to fight for this title, but make them work their way up towards it. Don't just be like, I'm going to give you a title opportunity if you do this, or blah, blah, blah. It should be like, a true tier system where your work ethic truly shows you deserve it, not just because you're a damn name.
Exactly. Thank you. So, look, man, this has been fun. I'm going to wrap it up here just so I can make sure everything edits right. Sometimes with Skype, things happen. Skype sucks, but it works. It works when it wants to. So, Noah, thanks for swinging by and chatting with me for the last 20 minutes or so. Let me hear your plugs, man. Where can people find you and show you some love?
Okay. First off, this was an extreme pleasure. I hope to do it again sometime, but with college around the horizon, my skills are going to be very limited. But if people do want to try and find me, know this. I'm just a simple man. And if you haven't all figured out by now, I am a lifelong fan of wrestling in all of its forms. Bad, ugly, good, simple, you name it. So if you want to tell me about anything, the 5 brands of WWE, Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling, that's my number one. AEW, Stardom, Impact Wrestling, and Independent Wrestling in general. Support Impact Wrestling, folks. Look me up on Twitter, NoDQ.com/Noah takes to my Twitter page, or you can follow me on Instagram at #SomeManLife and Foster1916. I'll give you a nice hello and some intakes and my thoughts and moments in wrestling and more. And also, please follow my civil YouTube channel at youtube.com/user/NoahFoster210. You'll find all sorts of wrestling content there, neat, organized playlists for you. Everything from reviews, recaps, discussions, multi-person panels, special one-offs. It's all there. It's all wrestling. And stay tuned. I'll be with Aftermatch Wrestling with Stephen and Jerry and this man right here doing predictions on NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool 2. I'll be shortly doing on my YouTube channel a Simply Predicting Wrestling video on Impact Hard to Kill. And there's more content to come to at the heart of my channel, #205 Live Matters. And of course, you haven't figured it out by now, support NoDQ. They're the reason I even got into YouTube, for I'm dead to the NoDQ family, Fake You, Aaron Riff, and company. Buy a shirt, buy a cup, buy a tapestry, sticker, just do it. NoDQ.com/merch take to the store. Follow them on our social media platforms. Your opinions matter. There's a comment section and everything. Polls, columns, memes, gifts, reviews, recaps, polls, sexy female pics. You name it, it's there. Primarily wrestling from WWE, with a little bit of independent wrestling and AEW. And as always, I'd like to close. Support your wrestling outlets, both big and small. And as always, let's keep growing this incredible, diverse, unique, elite, unapologetic, unscripted, 100% authentic wrestling community together. Simple as that.
All right. Thank you again, my man, for joining me. This was fun. We're going to do this again. So if you like this video, make sure you click the subscribe button that's down here. And while you're at it, why don't you click the share button as well? You can share it with all your friends, family, coworkers, postal servicemen, your dog, whoever. Just share it. Try to get me to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. So let's start out strong. I'd greatly appreciate it. You can follow me on Twitter at NoDQ Colin Andrew. Follow me on Instagram at Colin26Andrew. You can find me and Noah and several other people in the Facebook group Armbar. That is all capitals ARMBAR exclamation point. Find us there for memes and jokes and all that fun stuff. And we just launched a Aftermatch Wrestling Facebook page, so follow us there at Aftermatch Wrestling. That's all one word, AFTERMATCH space wrestling. Find us there at that name, and on YouTube at Aftermatch Wrestling, and on Instagram at Aftermatch_wrestling. So follow us all there. It's a mouthful, I know. There will be links in the description below if you didn't catch any of that. So for the simple man, Noah Foster, I am the Cleaver, Colin Andrew. Thanks for hanging out and having some beef with us, and we'll see you next week. Take care, everybody.
Have a good night, folks.